What's going on, guys? This is Devon Evans. I'm your host, and this is the Band of Barber podcast. Guys, welcome back again. This is episode 25, I believe. I may be wrong, maybe 26. Uh, Charges to my head, not to my heart. Like I said, I'm doing this to prove consistency to myself and to provide value to the community um, that I have. Either way, guys, I really want to thank you again for listening. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, do everything you can. If you want to communicate, listen. Even let me know if you want to be on an episode. You know, we may work you in to be on an episode or something like that. But either way, like I I just appreciate you guys and you guys tuning in. Today you get me actually in the car. I'm back in the car, guys. I am coming back from a training at Paul's Beauty Academy or Paul's Beauty Warehouse, but in their Paul's Beauty Academy. Today I went to their Capitol Heights location and I trained with Kit, and Kit was an amazing teacher. Again, small class size. It was only three of us, and so it felt as if it was one-on-one or individual style classes. It was great. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Um, but if you're in the DMV Virginia area, I don't care. Listen, make the drive. Make the drive. Grow your skill set grow your skill set so you can effectively grow your brand and do things like that. Just come on, learn some more, guys. Learn some more, grow some more. Um, Either way, let's get into today's episode. So today, I kind of want to harp on the same. I want to get back in the same lines of things, and I really want to talk about the work. And I want to talk about the work and understanding that I live by a motto like, you can't skip the work. The work is the work, whether you do it now or later, you're going to have to do the work. So, one of the things I tell my teenage son is do it right, do it once, do it wrong, do it twice. Right? And what I'm trying to get him to understand is that when you rush through things, you're going to have to do it more than once, typically. Or you're not going to get the result that you want when you're rushing through things. You're rushing through, you're making mistakes, you're doing all of these things wrong because you're trying to skip out on the work. Instead of becoming fluid in the skills and the steps, you don't and here's the thing, you don't even know your steps well enough to skip steps you're trying to make up, and it's going to cost you. And that's in life. It's going to cost you so many mistakes. So many mistakes. And you people just don't understand that. And behind that chair, if you haven't taken the time to learn properly, right? Whether that's paying to go to a class, learning through YouTube, learning through the other barbers that are in your shop, or going and finding someone. If you're I'm going to say this: if you're in a shop and you're working with barbers who you feel won't or do not or will not share information with you and you feel like they are more advanced than you are and they won't share, you're in the wrong shop. You need to go somewhere else. You need to go to an environment that caters to learning. I'm just going to say, you're in the wrong shop. If the other barbers in the shop don't want to see you be successful, you're in the wrong shop. Now, I'm going to say this. If you're in a shop and money is a natural consequence to providing a service. You are a barber. You are in the barbering industry. You provide a service. So money is a natural consequence. So please, can we stop just rushing through trying to get to money? Oh, I don't care anything about this person. I don't care what they look like when they go out the door. I don't care anything about that. Listen, your wealth is built on having a tribe. Your wealth is built on having a customer base. If you don't have a marketing, and I'm going to say this, if you're not marketing, if you're not bringing in new clientele, new customers to the shop, if you're not bringing that in and you're working in a shop solely dependent on what walk-ins come into the shop, you're in the wrong place. And okay, so and let me correct myself. If this is your mentality behind the chair, independent barber, right? Independent booth rental barber. If your sole avenue of gaining clientele is coming and sitting in the shop and waiting for something to come through the door, you're already wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You left whatever, typically you left whatever job, or you came you started to become a barber, or you became a barber so you didn't have to have a boss. But if you waiting in someone else's shop for walk-ins to come in, and you have no other means of gaining or attracting customers, you're wrong. And you're especially wrong if the walk-ins that you get, when they do come in, you spin them twice and throw them out the chair. Oh, you're definitely wrong. You are absolutely wrong. And I'm going to say it, if nobody else say it, you should be ashamed of yourself. Go get a job. Go get a job somewhere where somebody going to pay you by the hour and they don't care about the results of whatever you put out. They just go get a job. But don't sit here and tell me that you're your own boss and all of these types of things, that you don't care, like you don't care about the client or the clientele or anything like that. But the first thing that you want to scream out of your mouth is, oh man, it's slow. Yeah, it's slow because you jacking heads up. You jacking people up and they won't even come back to a shop that's not even yours because the only thing you care about is the dollar. Go get a job. Go get a job. Go back to a job because that's what you need. And while the early books, the early barbering books say that anybody can learn how to cut hair, right? And I'm paraphrasing because I'm driving. I can't read it off to you, but I'm paraphrasing what they said. They said anybody can learn how to cut hair. And I believe that too. But a true artist is different than just a regular hair cutter. I think that maybe we should petition for the people that don't take the industry seriously. Their license say hair cutter and not barber. Because I take this serious. I believe in this. This business has changed my family dynamics. This is how I feed my family. And what I'm not going to do, and I'm gonna tell you, I did at one time. I didn't understand how to market. I didn't understand how to market. But what I was not going to do, every person that sat in my chair was going to get the best of my ability. They were going to get the best of my ability. Do you understand? I don't care what the price is that they're paying me. I care more about the client and how their hair looks and can they live in their hair and is it going to be okay, that I care about the money that they're going to give me. Because I understand that money is a natural consequence. The client didn't come into the shop thinking that a haircut was going to be free. They came into the shop knowing and understanding. They came into the shop knowing and understanding that they came into the shop knowing and understanding. Sorry guys, changing lanes. They came into the shop knowing and understanding that this service costs money. And therefore, for the amount of money that I pay, I'm expecting this service. That's how business works. That's how that's how the exchange works. Right? At one time, we lived on a barter system. Well, I'd still think we live on a barter system. Hey, I'll do this for you if you give me money. It's a barter. But to just sit in a shop and complain and complain and complain and complain and complain, oh, it's slow, da 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 da, so on and so forth. What are you doing to gain new customers? What are you doing to gain new customers? Can we discuss that? Do you have a plan? Here's a question for you, Mr. It's Slow or Mrs. It's Slow. Do you even know how much money you made last week? Uh, Jim Rohn talks about his mentor, Mr. Schultz. If you know anything about Jim Rohn, and when Jim Rohn was talking to when he came into Mr. Schultz's mentoring program, and Mr. Schultz started to mentor him, Jim Rohn talked about the salary that he makes, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 25,000. So when Jim Rohn was talking to Mr. Schultz, Jim Rohn said, I think Mr. Schultz asked him, how much money do you make? And he said, I make 25,000 for the year. And at the time, he's like, I make 25,000, and that's all they're willing. Or I think he might have phrased it and said that all they're willing to pay me is 25,000. And what Jim Rohn said is, or what Mr. Schultz said is, you know, Is that all that they pay, or is that all that they're willing to pay you? And that was the conclusion that Jim Rohn came away with. Hey, is the shop being slow a result of you if other barbers are busy, or is it the other barber's fault? Is it the other barber's fault that the shop is busy, or that they're busy and you're not? No, no. They did what was necessary for them to do to get a fully booked out schedule. The slow days, the not so great days. Listen, we have all been there. We've all been there. I intentionally, I'll tell you this, because I knew I was going in a different direction with barbering. I intentionally slowed down my clientele growth, because what I did not want to do is have all of these clientele and then leave to go and teach. I didn't. I didn't want to do that. And I continue to teach, and I continue to teach the guys that came into the shop after me and things like that. I continue to teach. But I accepted that. I knew what was going to happen. I knew what was necessary. I knew what was necessary to, I knew what was necessary for growth. And my growth wasn't the growth behind the chair. My growth was the growth of the school. I needed time to go and do. I needed time to go and do and work on my business. You barbers who are slow, you're spending time sitting in the shop and everything like that. But I'm telling you, you're working in the business and not on the business. Even if you're learning new techniques and skills, you're working in the business and not on the business. McDonald's is not the best hamburger place in town. But McDonald's hasn't tried, nor do they care to be the best hamburger place in town. They look to be the busiest. And in order for them to be the busiest, they have to advertise. They have to have a system in place for the customers to flow through. They worked on how to cook the hamburgers. What you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to work on your skill set. Please. You have to work on your skill set and the efficiency of your skill set. Efficiency, not rushing. Efficiency, not rushing. I'm going to say it one more time for whoever in the back. Efficiency, not rushing. I don't care what it is that you do as far as your system for cutting hair and being a barber. I don't care what it is. There are steps. And when you skip steps, you create a larger space for error. Don't skip the steps. You want to be faster? Don't what? Don't skip the steps. Let's take it for Let's take it for what it is. Now, if you have a house with if you're on at the bottom of a staircase and you go up the steps, taking every step at a time, it's a safer bet, right? You're less likely. Is there a chance that you'll make a mistake? Is there a chance that you'll miss a step? Yes. But when you start taking 2 steps at a time, 3 steps at a time, you're now putting yourself more at risk and more in danger. We do realize that, right? Stop skipping the steps. Stop skipping the steps. Do the right steps. Keep the clientele. Don't just rush them to get their money and say, here, hey, see you later. Thanks for the money. Like, you putting clients in a chair and you spinning the chair around so fast, you might as well have robbed them. Because you're not providing any quality service to them. Might as well have robbed them. And back to my example of McDonald's. McDonald's has a quality, but they also have a speed. But they worked on the speed of how the kitchen was organized, of how this was done and how that was done. So what is that? Setting up your station, doing all of those things the proper way. Doing all those things the proper way. You trying to skip steps because you trying to get to the dollar faster, but you don't understand the system. You don't understand the system. And like I said before, and I'll leave you with this, listen, you can't skip the work that just doesn't, you can't skip the work. Do it right, do it once, do it wrong, do it twice. Do it right, do it once, do it wrong, do it wrong, do it twice. Say it one more time for you. Do it right, do it once. Do it wrong, do it twice. I'm telling you. Don't skip the work. Please. Don't skip the work in any facet. If you believe and if you with strong conviction believe that you have accomplished and you are at the top of the food chain as far as your barbering skills, let's study your business. How your business works. How your clientele works. Let's study that. Study that and let's figure that out. Let's go on and figure out some deficits. Please, 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 I beg of you, stop skipping the work. Stop skipping the work. Thank you guys again for tuning in. My name is Devon Evans. I'm the host of the Band of Barbers podcast. If you like what you hear, please comment, share, subscribe so we can grow the tribe. We'll catch you next time.